Hi everyone, and a warm welcome to this session. So in this particular session, we are going to talk about the score calculator and percentile predictor. As most of you may have already checked, and some of you must be aware that the CAT response sheet was going to be out. Initially, they said on 4th, and everybody was waiting when it is going to happen. Then there was a message that by 4:30 it will be released. Then it became 5 o'clock, and now one thing after another. There are issues that are still continuing, right? So I can see that some of you already commented in the chat window, and that is the biggest issue that is there. Unfortunately, the TETA questions for QA section, they haven't given the official key, and that's a very big problem, because if you right now sit to calculate your score with all the enthusiasm, and as you can see on screen, 7,668 submissions at this point of time on the IMS score calculator and percentile predictor. All of these students were, of course, in hope that they'll be able to see the right score. But unfortunately, thanks to IMK, and I was kind of holding myself back from criticizing IMK throughout this entire period. But today, unfortunately, I'll have to do that and say that this is a massive goof up, right? I mean, there's no other way to justify this, what they have done. You Firstly, there was no hurry for you to release it, right? Nobody was asking you to release it as soon as possible. You could have waited for nicely 2-3 days and done all sort of testing on what you're going to release finally as the end product to the student. So you could have waited, right? And again, this is me talking to IMK here. And you decided that, okay, let's release the response sheet without doing thorough checking that for the QA section, the TETA questions, the answers are not given. So if somebody has given a particular answer, you have attempted a particular question, you will not be able to see what the right answer is. So how on earth are you going to check whether you got it right or wrong? So that's really, really sad. It's unfortunate. The only thing is you can at least check it for the QA section and the VRC section and the DLR section. So at least for those two sections, there's no problem. But for the QA section, it's a problem, right? And as I can see from the chat window as well, Aryaman is writing QA TETA has issues. It seems at least for slot 1, as the answer is given as NA. So slot 1, it's not only slot 1, I think it's across slots. So even for slot 3, we tested, and that is a problem. Even for slot 2, as Pratham is saying, same for 3 as Nikunj is saying. So there is definitely a concern and a problem at this point of time. So if you check your score, your VRC score will be fine, your DLR score is fine, your QA score will get underreported, right? Because it may happen that you have attempted some questions, because you can see NA right now in the response sheet. The checking that you will do, you will not be able to understand whether you got it right or wrong, because there's no official key. So that's the sad part of the whole thing. Now, I hope they realize it soon and they release the actual response sheet with the corrected data points as early as possible. So as you can see right now, while we were discussing this, the count has gone to 8,000, right? So we have a real-time counter. So many students are trying to check what their raw score is. But unfortunately, because the way IMK has handled this whole thing and the way they have released the response sheet, the QA scores are going to be underreported, right? So you're not going to have the real picture of how much you have scored on the QA section. So what you need to do is, firstly, some of you may not have used this particular tool. We had made a video yesterday also, and we informed all the students how to use this. But just in case you haven't used it, you're a non-IMS student, so maybe you've not seen that communication. What you need to do is you just need to check for IMS CAT score calculator and percentile predictor. You'll find it on Google, and what you do is you enter your name, your email, your mobile number. Once you enter your mobile number, we do an OTP verification. Post that, if you're an IMS student, you can enter your PIN. If you're not, you can skip that part. And here, either you can you can paste the URL of the response sheet. So directly just copy paste it from the address bar, or you can you can save it as an HTML file and then upload that file here. So you can do any of these two, and then you click on calculate score and predict my percentile. Now, what we are doing at this point of time is, firstly, because of this whole issue with the QA score, the underreporting that is there, though you will be able to see your score. For example, you will see a screen like this, which will show you your VRC, DLR, and QA scores, which is getting calculated on the existing response sheet. Now, once IMK fixes that problem, you're going to have, hopefully, the same URL. Or let's say, even if they change the URL, you can come back to this and you will be able to re-upload the URL. So we will make that feature available where you can come at a later point of time and re-upload the URL. So right now it will show you something like this, that we are waiting for more submissions to give you percentile, and we want a statistically significant sample size. Of course, even right now we can give the percentile predictions, but the problem is the QA percentiles are going to be wrong. So that is why we are waiting for some more time. We are not going to be in a hurry like IMK and we are not going to give the percentile predictions. So what we'll do is we'll wait for more time. We'll hopefully the IMK fixes it, and post that we will definitely make changes and give you your percentile prediction. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. The website seems to be working fine. So in case you get a gateway timeout message, as somebody has mentioned, just try it again after some time. I think it's just because of the number. As you can see, it has now crossed 8,300, right? Uh, some of you have mentioned your scores, but see, the thing is, right now your QS score is wrong. So don't think that that is the score that you're getting, right? So whether you calculate manually also, you will not be able to figure out for some questions whether it is right or wrong. So even if you put it here, the same thing is going to happen, right? Because there's NA. So right now it is thinking that you haven't got it right, even though you may have got it right. So that is the issue part of it, which is on the IMK side. It is not the issue with this particular calculator. The issue is with the IMK response sheet itself, which does not have answers of the TETA questions in the QA section. So your VRC and DLR score, of course, are fine. So you can check it out as I showed you. Okay. Okay. Site down. Okay, which site down? Is it the IM website? I haven't seen the CAT IM site in the last few minutes, but I hope they make the changes, right? Because of NA, of course, the scores are going to be underreported. I'm not able to log in, showing wrong credentials. Server is not working. Okay, Yash and Mishra Nest. Are you talking about the IM website? I'm not able to log in. A lot of students were not able to log into the IM website. Okay, refresh this page. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. I don't see any problem here. If you got a gateway timeout, just try it after some time. Okay, so that's not going to be a concern. I checked it on my phone some time back. I also got a gateway timeout, but then it is working fine. Okay, so just try checking it from a different phone or from a different browser and see if you're able to access it. Okay. How can we check the TETA answers of quants? Unfortunately, right now we don't know, right? Because they have not released the answers. So we don't know exactly what the answers are. Of course, you can actually solve the question and see if you have got it right. But I would say instead of that, just wait for some more time. Okay. IMS site down. Okay, we'll wait and see. We'll of course ensure that it gets fixed. So don't worry. Anyway, right now, even if you upload the URL, it is currently not going to give you the right QS score. So you might as well wait for some more time. Let IMK fix the response sheet first, and then you can come back and share your URL again here. Okay, so that would be my suggestion. Okay, percentile predictions, we'll wait for some time, right? So we are definitely not in a hurry to do that. Let's look at all of these submissions. So our team will sit and go through all the submissions that we have got for individual slots. We will look at the normalization and then predict your percentile. Okay, so wait for some more time. In the same login, because it is that is why we need the mobile based OTP verification, so that you can come back at a later point of time and check your percentile. So as soon as we upload your percentiles, we will also send out a communication to everybody so that you know that percentile is now available. And over the next couple of days, the percentile will keep changing, because today, let's say for example, right now we have so many submissions. Maybe by the end of the day, we have, let's say, 12-13,000, but tomorrow we'll have more submissions. So we will be giving percentile predictions. We'll keep updating the prediction over the next couple of days. By the by third or the fourth day, roughly, the percentile predictions will stabilize. So till then, there could be some changes that will happen, but that is why the mobile-based verification is there. So you can always come back, log in, and check your percentile, which is updated. Okay. All right. Expected normalization, so we'll see, right? It's too early to talk about that. We need a minimum sample size from each of the slots. Right now, I don't have immediate access to the split of these 8,800 submissions that we've received. So we'll sit with the team and we'll go through all the submissions, slot-wise analysis, and tomorrow we'll come up with some detailed video as well as to where we stand, what are the stats like, and all of that. Okay. So you wait for that. We should be again going live tomorrow, or we'll make a video and upload it, wherein we'll talk about all of these things. Okay. TETA missing in QA. Yes, Shritesh, that's precisely what I spoke about in the beginning of the session when I started. And as I mentioned, right, so far I have not criticized CAT this year, right? I mean, I didn't criticize IMK in any way. But this is not expected from an institute which is one of the top institutes in the country, that you release response sheet. See, in the past also different IIMs have played with the difficulty of the test, right? That's a different thing. But in any of the years, it has not happened that the response sheet that got released had problems. See, people were able to trace the response sheet from the source code and all of that, which is a very separate thing. Because somebody, let's say, uploaded it on the website, some particular student realized that they can access the source code, inspect element and do all of that, and were able to locate the response sheet, which is a separate issue. That does not mean that the response sheet is getting leaked in some way. This is a different problem. You are releasing the response sheet. You are telling the students that, okay, 4:30, we are going to release it, then you make it 5 o'clock. And when they download, they realize that Theta has a problem, right? And that is the problem that I have now with IMK. So far, I had taken a very nice stand on the whole thing that, okay, it's perfectly fine to sort of have difficult paper and all of that. But this is not definitely not what is expected, okay? So that is where the problem lies with Theta for the QA section. That's why your QA scores are going to be off. Please don't take them seriously at this point of time, but your VRC and DLR scores are perfect. So you can use this tool, calculate your VRC and DLR score. Once the IMK response sheet gets fixed, now I don't know when that is going to happen. A few answers seem wrong. Okay, so if you have problem with the answer key, right, the responses, of course the mentors at IMS, all the experts, we will now sit and go through the individual questions, because there is going to be a challenge window as well, as you are aware. So if you have problem with any of the questions, and typically that will happen in, let's say, something like a VRC, though there have been cases in the past where DILR had some problems because of the language of the way things were worded. But in VRC, you may realize that, okay, particular thing, you can argue that maybe 1 is not the right answer, 2 is a slightly better answer. If any of that you encounter, let's say you find that, okay, a particular question should not have this particular answer, please reach out to us. You can let us know. You can ask us to verify that particular answer. We will ensure that all the experts at IMS sit together, debate on that particular question, and if at all it needs to be challenged, we will challenge the answer key. Okay. For now, the issue is different. The issue is the fact that QA Theta questions are not visible, in the sense that they are not given the answer key. So there's no way to figure out what's going to happen. Okay. What's NA in Theta? Gitanjali, that is the problem. So the entire problem is regarding that NA in Theta. So they have not given what the answers are for those questions. And that is why the score calculations are going to be off for the QA section. All right. So yeah, we'll wait for some more time now. There's nothing else that we can do, unfortunately. We'll wait for IMK to fix that response sheet. Once the response sheet is fixed, make sure that you come back to this tool and upload your response sheet and get your actual score. Okay. And then as soon as we have a good sample size, we are confident that we can give decent percentile estimates, we will be releasing them, and we'll also send out a communication regarding that. Okay. So that's it. Scaling again will wait, right? So we don't have, right now, I don't have access to any of this, the backend data of it, right? So we'll sit, we'll go through, because you have to do a lot of analysis, right? It's not going to be very simple where I can just make a statement that slot 2 will get scaled down or scaled up and so on. We need to see the raw data. We need to look at the individual sections, how people have performed and all of that, right? So then only we'll be able to comment on it. So it's too early to talk about whether something will get scaled up or down right now. But tomorrow, of course, we'll come up with a video and give a commentary on how things are looking. Okay. How should we know what we have answered for VRC and DLR Theta questions, as they didn't show our answers for these questions? No, they are visible. So if you have answered a particular question, you will be able to see what answer was given by you on the left hand side. And you will be able to see, so there is something called possible answer, right? If you look at it, if you go through the response sheet, and I'm looking at one response sheet right now, so you will be able to see possible answer, and below that you will be able to see given answer, right? So that is how you will be able to see what you had responded for that particular question. Well, when will IMS analysis come on the portal? Okay, so one is the percentile prediction, which we should be doing by late night today or early morning tomorrow. But before we do that, right, the response sheet has to get fixed first of all. So right now the problem is with the response sheet itself. And if I do any percentile predictions right now, they're going to be off. So there's no point doing that. So we'll wait for the IMK fix whenever they do it. And post that only we'll be able to give you the percentile. Okay, but till then, What you can do is you can definitely look at your VRC score and DLR score. Those two data points will get accurately calculated. So there's no concern on that front. Make sure that you submit your entry and calculate VRC and DLR scores. Okay. The submissions are about 10,000. Yeah, we just crossed 10,000. I didn't even realize while we were discussing this. So thanks everyone for submitting, giving us more data points to look at so that we can give a better percentile estimate. Okay. So that's it. I'm going to end it here. Hopefully IMK fixes it very soon and they accept that they have goofed up. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for joining. I don't want to take more time because we have Snap and MyCat happening on Saturday. So don't spend too much time on all of this at this point of time. What you can do is maybe by the end of the day, once you come back, go to candidate dashboard on the CAT website, log in, download your response sheet and see if that any issue has got fixed. If we get to know that it has been fixed, we'll just send out a communication on Telegram and all the other channels where we are that the issue has been resolved. You can now download the response sheet and then you can come back and upload it again to see your right QA score. And once that happens, we will spend more time, maybe tomorrow morning, to release the percentiles. This is definitely not how we wanted the whole thing to be. In fact, if everything had been fine from the IMK side, obviously we would have released the percentile prediction in maybe the next 1 hour or so. But because of that issue, currently we are not releasing percentiles. We are just giving you raw scores for the VRC and DLR section. Okay. All right, so let's stop it here. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining, and I wish all of you all the best. I'll see you very soon, mostly tomorrow, when we talk about the detailed insights from all these submissions. Okay, bye.